A very good morning and welcome again to the hotspot. We are back again with some developing news. It's a breaking story that's coming through all the way from London because Arsenal are finally taking the lead in what has been a tight race with Chelsea for the youngster Moses Caicedo, the young lad you see right there. Arsenal have taken the lead in the race to sign this Brighton midfielder, and we'll be giving you more updates on that. But subscribe to the channel and of course share on this link so that people get this latest news coming through from the Gunners. Now it has been a long race from January. From the January window, Arsenal and Chelsea both made bids to get the signature or to sign, to try to lure Moses Caicedo from Brighton, but both bids were turned down by the club. Now, they were still patient. They kept pushing and, of course, engaging. Even when the season ended, it was clear they are still on their intention. They did want to sign this player. Now, the race has been tight. For a few weeks ago, it looked like Chelsea had taken the lead in this race. Why? Because Caicedo is known to be a N'Golo Kante, who is the Chelsea player. Now, the latest reports coming through from trusted sources inside Arsenal do suggest that Moses Caicedo is actually going to be becoming a Ghana. He's soon becoming an Arsenal player. According to reports coming through, Arsenal have taken the lead because the player has agreed personal terms. We've got a few snippets into the terms, according to the reports that we do get in from Arsenal. Caicedo has apparently agreed to earn about 130,000 pounds per week. He has been earning 15,000 pounds per week at Brighton, and that's a huge increment on his pay. For him, certainly it's not about the money, because remember, Chelsea would certainly pay him a lot more than that, probably 150 plus. But he feels he has got to be playing Champions League football. That's one guarantee he needs. But also for his development as a player, he felt, like I did, and I've told you this before, that Arsenal is the better option, or Mikel Arteta is the better option to develop him as a player. Well, Mauricio Pochettino is not that Pochettino is a bad coach to develop players, but right now, considering the circumstances, I think Caicedo would feel safer under Mikel Arteta, less pressure at Arsenal, so he chose to go for Arsenal, and they have reportedly agreed personal terms with the Gunners, and of course Arteta there has been wanting another holding midfield option, because Thomas Partey at times gets disturbed by injuries and stuff, and certainly that costs Arsenal a couple of games. We've seen Arsenal struggle without Thomas Partey, and even when he comes back from injury, he's not at his Thomas Partey best. So you need a player like Caicedo, who has been playing at the highest level. For a team like Brighton, probably not the biggest of teams, but they have proved to us that they can play well, and he has played all but one of Brighton's players this season, not injury prone. Last had an injury, I think, in 2021. He's a fit player. All he needs to do is a little, catching up for him to, for his level, to try and get to that of Arsenal, and I think for me it was a wise option for him. Now, according to again inside reports, my closer sources from Arsenal, my close sources from that London club do tell me that Caicedo will, after agreeing personal terms, the two clubs are going to talk, and it is expected that they will they will meet halfway. It will be a win-win situation. Remember, Arsenal's initial bid of about 70 million pounds was turned down by Brighton in January. So apparently, Brighton feel the player is worth about 100 million pounds. But Arsenal, I told you before, the scientific valuation, when you go on the transfer market, Caicedo is valued at about 55 million euros. So 100 million pounds is almost double. So Arsenal will be hoping to negotiate for a deal that will see Brighton come a little down, and I do think they will do. I don't think Arsenal are willing to pay anything more than 80 million pounds for this 21-year-old midfielder. So that's the situation that's going on with Moses Caicedo. But it's a question of when, not if. It is reported that the plan for Mikel Arteta is to try and make this as fast as he can. They are trying to make it snappy. They hope that the two clubs will agree in this week we are in, and maybe early next week the player will be going for a medical, because his transfer will be subject to a medical. So they hope that by early next week, don't you be surprised if you see Moses Caicedo arriving for a medical at Arsenal and later in the week being unveiled as an Arsenal player. So that's what's happening. Question is he the player Arsenal needed? Do you feel he's the player you needed in the center of that pack for Arsenal? For me, I think he's a good player. If you look around for options of players for a team playing in the Champions League for the first time in a couple of years, a team that is trying to grow and develop, trying to build something. He's a young player. He's a little proven. He has got the talent. He's almost world class. Arsenal can make him proper world class. For me, I feel he's a good signing. He would be a good signing for Arsenal. But also for me, the most important thing is he is about to make the best decision of his life. Joining Arsenal would be the best decision of his life. And of course, close sources from both camps do suggest so, that he will be a Ghana, not a Blue, more sooner rather than later. That's what's going on with Moses Caicedo and Arsenal. Subscribe to the Hotspot. Thank you for being a part of the show. And of course, see you again later on. Peace, love, and harmony.